Let me ask you a very simple question. If someone offered you this deal, what would you say? I will give you $1,000 right now, but you pay me back $1,220 over the next year. Would you take that deal? Probably not. That sounds terrible. You are paying 22% extra just to borrow money for 1 year. But that is exactly what millions of Americans are doing every single month with their credit cards. And most do not even realize it. The United States currently has $1.2 trillion in credit card debt. $1,200 billion. If you stacked $1 bills to reach $1.2 trillion, the pile would be 81,000 miles high. 1/3 of the way to the moon. And the average American credit card interest rate in 2025 crossed 21%, the highest it has been in modern history. This is not just a statistic. This is a crisis silently destroying the financial lives of tens of millions of people. Today, how credit card debt works, why it grows so fast even when you pay, who it hurts most, and what you can do about it. Let us start with how big this problem actually is. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, total credit card debt hit $1.2 trillion in 2025. The average American household carries around $10,700 in credit card debt. But the average includes households with zero, meaning many carry far more. 44% of Americans carry a credit card balance from 1 month to the next. They cannot pay it off in full, so they get charged interest every single month. If you have $10,000 at 21% interest and make only minimum payments, it takes 7 years and 6 months to pay off. And during that time, you pay roughly $9,300 in interest alone. Your $10,000 debt ends up costing nearly $20,000. You borrowed $10,000. You paid back $20,000. And you felt like you were doing the right thing, making your monthly payments. That is not a loan. That is a trap. Now, here is the part most people do not know. Once you understand this, you will never look at a credit card the same way again. Credit card companies are not in the business of helping you buy things conveniently. They are in the business of lending money at extremely high interest rates. Here is how the trap is designed step by step. First, they make the credit limit feel like your money. When you get a $5,000 limit, your brain registers it as $5,000 available to spend, not $5,000 of debt you could take on. That money does not belong to you. It belongs to the bank. If you use it, you will pay for it with interest. Every dollar of it. Second, they make minimum payments feel like progress. The minimum payment is 1 to 3% of your balance. It sounds responsible. It is not. You have $5,000 at 21%. The minimum payment is around $100. Of that, $187 goes to interest. Only $13 actually reduces your balance. $13 out of 100. You feel like you paid $100 toward your debt. You actually paid $13. The minimum payment is designed to keep you in debt for as long as possible, paying interest for as long as possible. Third, the rewards are bait. Cashback, travel miles, points, free hotel nights. These rewards only make sense if you pay in full every single month. If you carry a balance and pay 21% interest, no reward program in the world will save you. You pay far more in interest than you will ever get back. Fourth, they raise your limit when you least expect it. You get a letter, your limit has been increased from $5,000 to $8,000. This feels like a vote of confidence. In reality, it is an invitation to take on more debt. And studies show spending goes up almost immediately when limits increase. The entire system is engineered by teams of behavioral scientists and financial experts to keep you borrowing, spending, and paying interest for as long as possible. Now, who is actually carrying all of this debt? Because it is not who you might think. People between 35 and 54 carry the highest credit card balances on average, raising children, paying mortgages, dealing with medical costs, using credit cards to bridge the gap. Gen Z, born after 1996, is taking on credit card debt faster than any previous generation at the same age. Pandemic, inflation crisis, using cards to cover basics. 36% of Americans earning over $100,000 a year carry credit card debt. High earners are not immune, not even close. Lifestyle inflation, status spending, and the belief that they will pay it off next month keep many high-income people in the same cycle as everyone else. Black and Hispanic households carry disproportionately higher credit card debt relative to income and assets. Fewer financial safety nets mean credit cards become the emergency fund. Women carry slightly higher credit card balances on average. And single-parent households, the majority headed by women, are among the most vulnerable to this spiral. Here is something that makes credit card debt different from almost every other financial problem. It is invisible. A mortgage, you can see the house. A car loan, you can see the car. Credit card debt, there is often nothing to show for it. Groceries. restaurant meals, clothes, emergencies, small purchases that felt insignificant and accumulated into something enormous. Researchers call this payment decoupling. When you use a credit card, the payment happens weeks later. Your brain does not process it as spending real money in real time. Studies consistently show people spend more, sometimes up to 100% more, when paying with a credit card compared to cash. There is also debt normalization. When everyone around you has credit card debt, when advertisements treat it as normal, it stops feeling like a crisis. And that normalization is one of the most dangerous things about credit card debt. Because normal does not mean okay. And then there is shame. Most people with significant credit card debt feel deeply ashamed about it. So they do not talk about it. They do not ask for help. They do not check their statements carefully because seeing the number hurts. And avoidance always makes debt grow faster. Always. The credit card industry profits enormously from shame because shame keeps people quiet, and quiet people keep paying interest. All right, let us talk about what you can actually do. A real framework and not generic advice. Because generic advice does not work on this problem. Step 1. Stop adding to the balance. If you are in credit card debt, the absolute first step is to stop making it worse. Take the card out of your wallet. Remove it from your phone's payment apps. Put it somewhere inconvenient. Make it harder to use. Not necessarily cancel it. Canceling can hurt your credit score, but make it genuinely inconvenient. Until the balance is gone, that card is not a payment method. Step 2. Know the exact number. Write down every credit card, the balance, the interest rate, the minimum payment, all of it. Most people have a vague sense of what they owe. Vague does not help you make a plan. The exact number does. That is the entire difference. Step 3. Choose a payoff strategy and commit to it. There are two well-known methods. Both work. The question is, which works for your psychology? The avalanche method, pay minimum on all cards except the highest interest rate. Every extra dollar goes to that card. Once done, move to the next. Saves the most money. The snowball method, pay off the smallest balance first, regardless of interest rate, then the next smallest. Creates real psychological momentum with each account you close. Either method works. The worst method is making minimum payments on everything and hoping things improve on their own. They will not. Step 4. Find extra money to attack the debt. Look at monthly spending and find anything you can cut temporarily. Even an extra $50 per month can cut years off your payoff timeline and save thousands in interest. $50. That is the math. Step 5. Call your credit card company. Ask if they can lower your interest rate. Ask if they have a hardship program. Ask what options are available. Banks do not advertise these options, but they exist, and a phone call costs you nothing. A lower rate, even 3 or 4%, saves hundreds over the life of the debt. But here's what I want you to take away. This is not a moral failure. It is not a reflection of your intelligence or worth as a person. This is a system that billions of dollars have been spent designing, and it catches very smart, very hardworking people every single day. Understanding how the trap works is the first step to getting out of it. That is true every single time. Next video in this series, the $1.7 trillion student loan crisis in America. Why people are still paying off college debt in their 40s and 50s. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And I will see you in the next one.